All right. So thank you for inviting me to this special session. Appreciate everybody being here. And we're going to get into a lot of things that you may or may not know in the back office, what you can do. A lot of people talk about what you can do in the back office, but today I'm going to actually show you how to do it. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and turn my camera off, at least for right now. And I'm going to share my screen so we can take a look at the back office nice and live. Okay, I'll wait for this little box to go away. Okay, so welcome to the GS Partners dashboard. So there's a lot of information here, but don't worry, we will break it down and actually take it step by step so you'll understand what it is you have in your hands. So right away, the first thing we're going to talk about is what is actually on your dashboard, going from the top all the way down to the bottom. And this session is geared towards people who have actually paid their membership. Those who have not paid their membership, don't worry. You can always correct that by getting their membership. So what exactly are we looking for or looking at? Right away at this page, there are three main sections to pay attention to. The top banner here consists of multiple things that you can get a little snapshot of your account. Now, you can also get this information multiple other places in the back office. Let me see if I can talk today. So this one right here, this is an infinity symbol, and so it corresponds to the infinity pool and your ranks. So if you click that, it gives you a nice little drop down there. Correspondingly, this is the block star, and it shows you your block star ranks and everything like that at a glance. The next one, this is your notifications. And so right now, anytime you have a notification, this little circle that is currently gray will actually be red. And if you click on here, it will show you what notifications are there. And next over here is your account button. If you click on this, it'll actually say welcome and your username. And then it'll have links to your profile, your KYC, your two-factor authentication. If you have set it up or not, it's accessible here. A direct link to the GS Partners Global Facebook group, and of course, log out. But one thing I want to show that I hadn't shown before was how to switch to your theme. You may not notice, but we are all, by default, using the dark theme. Now, what happens if you look at the light theme? Well, this is what happens. I do recommend if your eyes are sensitive, look away from the screen for half a second. Yeah. That's why everyone usually uses the dark theme. The light theme is just a little too bright. But you can actually change that here, which is a nice little addition to our back office. Underneath that is the main page, but we're not going to go here first. We're not going to go here next. Next thing is actually on the left-hand side. If you're on a mobile device, it'll likely be collapsed, and it will probably look a little bit more like this, where if you put your cursor over here, they will extend. But you can do that on your desktop or your laptop or anything like that. Just depends on how much actual real estate you have on your screen. Going from the top to the bottom, we're not going to go through everything, but we're getting into the sections here. The first, this is simply a convenient button or convenient link that you can press to take you back to the dashboard. Underneath here is the link to go to the Metaverse Trading back office. If you click that, it'll take you to another tab to your trading platform portal from SkyGround. But we're not going to talk about this today because it's still they're still developing part of that. Underneath, this is one of those things where you can actually have a direct link to one of the most recent promotions that are running, Catch the Bunny. And that'll take you directly to the portfolio section. Underneath that, you have many different links to different parts of the current active back office. We're going to cover a lot of these, but not all of them, because they're not really as relevant to your day-to-day operation. Now, finally, let's take a look at the main page here. This first top part breaks down all of your cryptocurrency and token wallets. Right here at the top left, it has a total of the actual dollar amount or USDT amount that each one of these represents. So it's a grand total of all of them, split amongst all of these cryptocurrencies. To the right of it are convenient buttons that you can press to take you to the financial part of your dashboard for depositing or withdrawing. We're going to get to that in a second because it's way down over here, at least on my back office. But if you click on deposit now, it'll open up the same page that this button or this particular link would take you to. And the same is true for the withdrawal and withdrawal. So multiple places where you can click to get to the same utility part of the back office. So multiple ways to get to the same pages. Over here, you can see My JS Partners portfolio. This simply gives you a more graphical breakdown in certain ways of what you have and a little bit more information about your team if you are a partner, and your active team members and the commission levels that you have opened up through your sponsorship efforts. Right here, you can see the largest breakdown between the largest two bits of cryptocurrency and their values. Right now, currently, I have value in G999 and USDT, and so that represents the total sum with this small graphic here. So it's just an easier way of taking a look at what you have if you prefer sort of a spreadsheet method instead of the more graphical balance sheets. All right, the next section underneath this contains things like a snapshot of your team's Olympus Meta certificates. Now, these are not your certificates. These are your team's certificates. So the people you brought in and the people they brought in will have their certificates listed here. And underneath, there's a convenient button to go to your Meta portfolios, which corresponds to this. So it'll actually take you to a place where you can buy your certificates, which is under the purchase section of the Olympus Meta Certificates menu option. So again, multiple places to get to the same page. Okay, to the left, to the right of that is your membership subscription. It tells you how long your active subscription is going to be, and it kind of gives you a breakdown of certain things that come along with your membership. To the right of that, there will be buttons here. If you don't have a membership, it'll give you buttons that you can click on to activate your membership for various time periods. To the right of it, the exchange gives you a lot of information here, but you may not always know what it is that it's trying to tell you. What it is basically letting you know that you can exchange multiple currencies for other currencies. And so they broke it down into different sections. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, also known as USDT, and our favorite G-Euro. You can exchange Bitcoin for these three cryptocurrencies, the Lydian Stater, G999, and G-Euro. If you look closely, you can see that everything on this side can be exchanged for these three, with the exception of G-Euro. G-Euro can only be exchanged for USDT. That's a deliberate choice, by the way, so that you can move this in and out of your platform. This last button here is for the exchange. And again, this is just a button that's mainly for your convenience, and it will take you over to the financial exchange menu here under financial. It's the same link. If you're a paying member, you will have your referral link directly underneath that last section. There's a nice little graphic where you can send out a QR code, or you can copy and paste your sponsor link into an email or text or whatever to send it out to people who really want to sign up for you. Unlike the other sections, this part here is not a button. So if you click on here, it doesn't take you anywhere. It simply denotes that this is a marketing and PR section of your dashboard. My reports is very, very useful. So get used to seeing this on this part of the page. Your user commissions can be accessed from this link, and we'll cover that in a second. The Blockstar pool, the mid-month accelerator, that's not that's not multi-martial arts, it's mid-month accelerator pool, the infinity pool. So these are all things that you can click on under your reports, as they will show up. It used to be a submenu, but it's no longer a submenu. Right now they actually have, there we go, just a single page for your reports, and it kind of breaks down all those things. We'll talk about that in a second, but these are convenient links to go to exactly the reports you want. This is a link down here, unlike this one over here, that allows you to go directly to the reports page that you would do if you clicked on this section of the side menu. On the right-hand side, the essentials. This is for people who want to know more about and want to get directly to the presentations, a compensation plan, all that stuff. These are links that will take you to different sections under the media repository section, which is this section here. So this will take you directly to the media repository by itself. This will take you to the ability to take a look at the GS Partners presentation, the product explanation, and basically if you look at the bottom left, this little status bar that shows up whenever I put my mouse cursor over it, you'll see that all of these actually go to the same page. But this will let you know what you can find on those pages. So that's why it's under Essentials. And once again, this one right here is a button that'll take you directly to the essentials of, well, the media repository. Underneath it is a section that most people completely ignore, but they are important if you want to know more about it. The general terms and conditions, I do recommend that at least once you go through and read this document. The fees, we'll be getting to them in a second, but they can be found on every single page at the bottom. Policies and procedures, again, you need to at least take a look at this once. Privacy, income disclosures, the GSDFi incentive disclosure, and the version number. This really isn't a page to go take a look at, but it's just to let you know when certain things have been updated. This stands for version BF 117, and this will change as they change parts of the back office. On most pages, you're going to see between 2 and 3 of these icons. These are very important. The first one is Lydia. Lydia is a tutorial for you, and she will give you context-based information or instruction on whatever page that you're on. And they will always be at the bottom right, no matter how much you scroll up or scroll down. It's there for your convenience. So take a look at it. For example, if I wanted to take a look and see what Lydia wanted to talk about on the dashboard, I would simply click her, and she will get into the instruction of exactly what it is that we're looking at. Left-hand side, general menu through which you can navigate the entire platform. That's great. And so it'll take you through each section, section by section, and it's going to time you to the point where it will let you kind of read through the text before you go on to the next tutorial section. You can always exit Lydia by clicking on the X at the top right, especially if she immediately tells you what it is that you want to know. Okay. Next is the GS Telecom live support chat. This is not something we've really talked about very much, but it does require the GS Telecom app, either from the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. I haven't used this very much, but I know it works. But this is another way to contact support should you want to. Note that the GS Telecom app requires G999 to operate. But if you do want to get a hold of support and get a little bit more guidance as far as what you want to talk with them about, you want to use this button here, the one with the little envelope on it. If you click that, this is a support request. And the first thing it's going to ask you is choose a category, whether it's a deposit, withdrawal, issues with your 2FA, your KYC. You can actually submit suggestions as well. So if you do that, let's just say 2FA is going to give you frequently asked questions about this particular issue. So your issue might actually be solved just by clicking on the frequently asked questions about this. If not, there are other things that you can type in. Say you want them to reset your 2FA, or you have a specific Google 2FA error. So there's a lot of things that you can do to get information and to contact support. So we're just going to select this for now and say continue. Here is where you enter your information and you create a true support ticket. Be sure to type in what exactly you have an issue with. And since this one is about 2FA, it will actually come with some directions that you can do, as well as a place to attach pictures. So it's very, very, very useful. And I've used that tool many times over the past couple of years to make sure that certain issues are taken care of. And that's the dashboard front page in a nutshell. Now, let's talk about how to use this dashboard. So a few things that you want to do really come down to depositing and withdrawing cryptocurrency. So like I said before, you can either deposit by clicking this button or withdraw by clicking this button, but you can also do it from the financial menu here. So let's go ahead and use that. So deposit will open up your financial deposit page. And on this page, you have multiple things to look at. On the left-hand side, you can see select deposit cryptocurrency. So you are moving cryptocurrency from some other platform to GS Partners. And this is the information you have to get to the other platform so it can be sent to this platform. Okay, so this is the recipient information from, say, Coinbase or even Lydian World. This is the information you need to send cryptocurrency to your GS Partners back office. You have multiple cryptocurrencies to choose from here: Ethereum, Pax Gold, Tron, all the way down the list, including G999, Tether, and Bitcoin. Each one has a different address because they are different blockchains. But you can either give out, I wouldn't say give out, but you can either copy this information by just clicking and copying, or you can click the copy address button if it works on your computer, or if they use QR codes, you can simply take a snapshot of the QR code, and each one of these has a QR code for your specific wallet. Note that there is a difference between certain things like Tether on the TRC20 network and Tether on the ERC20 network. They're very, very different. So just make sure you are sending it to the right address. Okay, so there's not a whole lot on here right now, but this is very important for you to do. Each one of these cryptocurrency buttons changes the bottom, and this is the deposit history. So if I click on Tether, it'll show me the deposit history of my Tether right there, including the dates and times, the actual address, whether it's an internal or external transaction, how much, and all the information like creation and completion date, a lot of good information. So for, let's say, Bitcoin, there it is. Now you can see all of these as well. So it's very, very good and well designed. The previous design wasn't quite as good as this. That's depositing. Say you want to withdraw. Let's just say that you have some certificates. You wanted to go ahead and withdraw some of your cryptocurrency. Well, you can do that the same way. It's similar in some ways to the deposit, but it'll always say withdraw up here, withdraw here, and select withdraw cryptocurrency so you don't get those two mixed up. Also, pay attention to this paragraph here, because it will definitely let you know that it's easier to copy and paste than to simply type in the receiving addresses. Now, you may notice that there is no QR code here, and that's because it doesn't need a QR code here. It's just you moving cryptocurrency from this platform to a destination address. So here you decide which cryptocurrency you want to move. All of these guys are the same options from before, and you will select an address But if you don't have any addresses here already, you can create a new withdraw address by clicking this button. Let's just say, well, this is a Bitcoin address. So you paste the recipient Bitcoin deposit address here and label it accordingly. So at least you'll be able to see it at a glance. This is important because you have the option now to manage your withdraw addresses. So here you see a bunch of withdraw addresses. Each one was, valid for whatever reason. And you can delete old addresses that you don't plan on using anymore or keep them. But this is why you want to have the labels here so you can tell what these things are for. Once you have an address entered, you can select that address just like that. So it'll have the label plus the address, and then you simply enter the amount of whatever cryptocurrency and hit submit withdrawal. Now, we've covered this sort of thing in the past, but this is what you can do. And the major update that we've had allows us to simply delete old addresses instead of having them just kind of accumulate over time. So for instance, this one, I can just delete that one. Boom, deleted that address. So it's not going to show up when I say select an address. See, it's gone. Okay, so that's how to deposit and withdraw cryptocurrency. The next thing we're going to do, because this is one of the most important things we do, is we acquire products and services. Products and services, really only a few of them are on here, but let me show you where they are. So the first product and service I'm going to show you is the event ticket. This is something that we've talked about before. Well, not here, but this is an event this is the Dubai event, Sunday, May 14th in Dubai. You can actually purchase your ticket here. Pay attention to the actual amount and the type of cryptocurrency necessary. Just like that. So you can either do Tron USDT or Ethereum USDT. I'll assume that the event ticket item back here will likely stay there for all of the semi-annual events that will be coming up. The next product and or service that's available is, of course, the Olympus Meta Certificates. If you click this, it'll drop down this menu where you can take a look at purchasing them, a listing of your certificates, your statistics about your certificates, and different things that apply to you and your certificates. There's also a frequently asked questions link here, as well as down here under FAQs. The same FAQ or frequently asked question is under here. Again, the theme that we have here in GS Partners back office is multiple ways to get to the same information. So just in case you're looking for it, you can find it in multiple places. So let's see here. Oh yes, there's another product or service to take a look at. And you may have forgotten where this one is if you haven't seen it on the dashboard. But this section I'm going to talk about was moved from the dashboard to its own section on the side menu, and that was NFTs. And it's going to come up, and you may recognize these NFTs. It has been reformatted so that you can see everything a lot better. And since it used to be on the front page, most people would just kind of scroll down and say, what is this all about? Well, now it has its own section dedicated strictly for itself. Okay. Now, the NFTs, we're not going to go into what the NFTs are, but if you want to get additional NFTs, remember, you get one as part of your membership. You can actually acquire additional NFTs here. And I guess the question would be, well, why would you want to get additional NFTs? Well, if you click this button here, it will show you. Now, let me see if I could increase the size of that. Okay, it's a little better. Each NFT you acquire here comes with a number of Lydian lions that you can acquire with it, as well as bonus Lydian lions. So if you want to get additional Lydian lions, well, this is a good way to do it. And you can acquire these NFTs by suggesting right here, by clicking here under select currency. It goes from Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tron. Basically, almost all of the cryptocurrencies that are available to us can be used to acquire these NFTs. So if you were looking for where these went, they're over here near the bottom well, on my screen, near the bottom over here, and it will take you to this page. You can also take a look at all of your membership NFTs that you've acquired during this time. And those long timers that, like myself, have the Lydian Lion NFTs as well, and this is where they all reside. The last thing that you can do, well, the last product and or service that you can acquire here is under the marketplace. We don't really talk about the marketplace because it really hasn't changed for a little while, but it's here. You can click on shop and it will take you to all the things that are currently available within the GS Partners marketplace. The signature cards, the Blockchain Video Academy subscription, as well as some accessories that are still coming soon. The good thing about this is that if you already have a membership, then you have this Blockchain Academy subscription already unlocked. So you don't have to worry about that. And the signature cards will have a lot more value later on. Now here's something that is useful, and I want you guys to pay attention to this part. If you ever go to a place on the site, on the GS Partners site, where there is no side menu to go back to where you wanted to go, you can always click on this button here, or you can go directly to your back office by clicking here. So we're going to do that. It's going to take us right back to the dashboard, and so you'll be able to continue to navigate normally. Okay, let me just adjust that over there. There we go. Okay, so now we're back to the dashboard. So those are the products and services that are available to you in the back office and where you can acquire them. Now let's talk about the team builders in our crowd. If you're a team builder, if you have a team or you're wanting to be a marketer, there are certain tools back here that you must understand. So let's start with how to track your team progress. Well, the first thing is right here on the front page, My Olympus Certificates. These are your team's or your downline's certificates, so you can see what has been purchased here. But this is only a slight bit of information. What you need is details, and details come from this section here, My Team. If you want to know most things about your team, go here. This is the unilevel tree section of the back office. You can see that my name is here. If you click on that little button, it will actually open up to reveal every person that you have personally sponsored and their current status. The legend over here tells you whether they are a paying partner, if that person has a team, if they have no team, and if you are searching for a specific person via their username or parts of their KYC information, this will actually highlight them. And I'm going to demonstrate that. Let's just say you found that a person, you wanted to look for a specific person. Well, I know the last name of one of my people, TEO. When you type that in, you didn't even have to hit enter. It just automatically searches, and it will show people with that particular name as part of either their username or part of their actual name as part of their KYC. So if I were to search for, let's just say, AK9TEO. Now, you see what just happened? It navigates you through your tree to that person. And so this is the person I typed in. If you put your mouse cursor over it, it will show you their information. And there's a lot of information here, including if their KYC is approved, who their direct sponsor was, what they've done in their volume of sales, a lot of information. And you can also see exactly where they are related to you. So, hold on, get out of the way. So this is a fantastic feature, just in case you want to know. And why would you want to do that? And how do you get this kind of information? How is this beneficial to you? Well, we go under My Reports and we'll see why this is a beneficial thing for you. If you click on My Reports, it takes you to one of the most useful things that you will ever have as a team builder. The ability to take a look at your user commissions, your actual place in the Blockstar pool, your actual place in the multi martial arts. No, mid-month accelerator pool, your place in the infinity pool, and anyone that is close to rising block star, close to block star, close to hitting infinity rank, how people show up in your infinity lines, any certificate bonuses that you have acquired, and any fast start bonuses that you've acquired as well. So this is a fantastic addition to the back office. So let's go to user commissions and use this. Now, when you go here, it gives you a month-long report on what user has done what and how much you have earned from it. So from user way, or let's just go down to, here's one, Knuckles11. Well, chances are the person's name isn't actually Knuckles, but this person is responsible for me earning 9 USDT because they loaded a Hermes certificate. So that's what this all comes down to. And that happened late last month. Well, let's see. Knuckles, let me copy that, go to my team, and figure out, well, where is this person in my downline? Okay, paste. Oh, that's Sarah. Okay, I didn't know that. Who's their sponsor? Right there. Sponsor, Mary Teo. So now I know who to contact to, say, hey, you need some help expanding your network or anything like that. You can easily see all the way down to where this person actually intersects with your team. So this person is actually on my level 2, as it indicates right there. Okay, so that's one of the things you can do with this search menu and interact with your reports. User commissions are a fantastic way to find out who's doing what and why, really. And it's good for your reporting, I should say. You can filter this stuff 3 months at a time, at the most. So just try it out, see what you can do, and it will actually give you a lot of good information. But it's not the only place. Let's go back to my reports. The Blockstar pool gives you a breakdown of the current Blockstar amounts. So if you're looking to get, Rising Blockstar or Blockstar, these are the current rewards for each one of those sales goals, as well as an idea of what is within everybody's goals, or rather the company's full Blockstar pools. And you can go to My Blockstar Team and find your specific amounts of money that you will be earning during this time, assuming you hit any of the Blockstars. Now, I hit Rising Blockstar this month, so now I have something to look forward to. So very, very important stuff here. The Infinity Pool and the mid-month accelerator pools are both there as well. The Rising Blockstar, if you click on this, it'll give you stuff for Rising Blockstar. So there's many other things that you can look through just to kind of find some information. The last thing of this section I'm going to show you guys is the infinity lines. If you want to hit director or anything above, you need to be very familiar with this part of your back office. Here it will show all of the ranks in the infinity pools that you could possibly hit. Your status is being pending, meaning that you haven't achieved that yet. All the requirements are listed here. So volume requirements, active partner requirements, start date and end date for this time period. But this doesn't give you a lot of information, but it will if you click this little double arrow, and it will open up all of your directly sponsored people and their specific infinity pool volume. Has reached the cap? Well, I've got one person who reached the cap, so I can no longer count more volume for my directorship from this leg. Get with your sponsor or upline to get a better feel of why why some of these things show up as they do. But right now, this is how you can track your infinity pool lines and get an idea of who's doing what and where you are. Well, if you're trying to get regional director, you know where to focus very easily. Okay, So those are all the really interesting and useful reports that you can find back here. You can also do some fast start and certificate bonuses here, but you can click on those for yourself. All right, now let's talk about news and updates. News and updates is down further, and it has its own section here. If you click this, you'll notice that the news and updates section has changed. Each one is more of a card where it shows you different announcements. It has the dates and everything, as well as a little bit of a preview of what's in this particular news article. The most recent one was, of course, today's. So if we click on read more, it will actually pop up this whole bit where it tells you everything about this particular event, all the information you need to know, and a convenient link to get to the actual Zoom that this was talking about. For ASL or Deaf USA participants, there's a special thing that you can do as well to get into that. So if you have hearing impaired or deaf or ASL restricted people in your team, this information down here is vital. Most times you're not going to see this on any flyer. So look in your back office for this very specific information that may help you out. Every one of these is important, so I definitely recommend you go back and take a look at it. One of the more important ones are the newsletters. If you click on read more here, you can see that it is broken down into different sections. But one of the best things about this is that there is usually a link to a YouTube video where you can actually watch the presentation as it is. So this is a YouTube link. You can watch the recording of this community call right there. Very, very easy. Okay, so those are news and updates. Let's take a look at promotions and incentives. Now, what is the difference between a promotion and an incentive? A promotion is something that goes on in a very short amount of time, and that covers things like the bunny bonus, the fast start bonus, certificate bonuses, and all of these short-term things that are usually on a monthly or semi-monthly basis. Those are promotions. Incentives last for much longer bits of time or are annual. So the GSP incentive back here, this was the annual legacy bonus, and the Dubai main event bonus, May event. So here is where you can take a look at the travel voucher allowances, as well as all the stuff that they have planned for Dubai. And so this is a new incentive that lasts a long time. The GSP incentive is under the same category. It's the annual incentive. So this is going to be here for a long, long time. So that's the difference between a promotion and an incentive. So the promotion, like I said, is like the bunny bonus. It's very short term or small, or it has a small applicable area of the back office that it really, well, applies to. So those are the differences. These promotions over here, they won't give you your information, but they will give you information on these topics. So for instance, Blockstar Pool, if you want to know what it's all about, this is where you find it. So promotions gives you information about these things, whereas under reports, it will show you how it affects you specifically. Okay? So if you want to know anything about these promotions, go here. Now, we have a couple things to take a look at, and that is educational and marketing materials. The marketing materials can be seen under Media Repository. This section has been updated as well. So you can see information about GS Partners, Lydian World back here. Under PDF presentations, this is where you can find things like, let's see, at the bottom are all the English things, the rewards plan, the business presentation, the 30-day simulator, which is the fast start sort of thing. These are things that you can print out and or download and use to be compliant when you talk to other people. In addition to that, there are other logo packs, social marketing packs. These are all graphics that you can use as long as you use it responsibly, including mobile wallpapers. I have one of these on my phone right now. Lydian World has other things as well. So take a look at if they have videos or if they have PDF presentations. Just kind of take a look and just kind of download them and read them yourself. If you're a team builder, you're going to want to know what these presentations say before you start, making presentations. Specific things about G999 are here, GS Telecom, all the way down to the very bottom. So this is the marketing materials that you need to know about this. Other links and events over here are just there for your convenience. We're not using these right now, but look at the products and services here to get a good idea. The last part of the educational materials is the Blockchain Academy, like we said before. If you click this button, it will open a new window or a new tab where you can actually go through and watch these educational videos. They are all less than 15 minutes apiece, and they cover such topics as the introduction to Bitcoin, where do Bitcoins come from, talking about staking, you've probably heard these terms, arbitrage, proof of stake, Tether, a nice deep dive into that, all the way down to how to use a Bitcoin ATM. And I used all of this material to, get a good idea of certain things that I was kind of fuzzy about before. This comes with your membership. So if you haven't gone through this, take some time, take about an hour, and just watch as many of these as you can. Go back, review them as many times as you want to. Okay? So this is very, very, very good stuff that you get for $33 a month. Most places you won't get that. You'll have to pay extra for this sort of thing. Okay, the final thing I want to draw your attention to is something a lot of people kind of need to know about, but they don't know where to find this information, much less how to make changes with it. In fact, let's just go back to this page. And that is your settings. Under settings is things like your profile, KYC, and your two-factor authentication. These are super, super important. We're going to tackle 2FA first. Now, take out your pens and paper because this is going to be something you want to know before you start doing anything with this. If you haven't secured your account with two-factor authentication, first of all, do it. Please do it. But know, as in KNOW, know that the first time you set your two-factor authentication, or really every time you re-enable your two-factor authentication, there is a 48-hour pause on any withdrawals from your account. That is for your safety. So if I were to turn my two-factor off here and then put it back on for you guys, I would not be able to withdraw from my account to any other platform for 48 hours. Okay, so just be careful with that. All right. So first of all, definitely establish your two-factor, but don't be weirded out if you can't make any withdrawals during the post-enabling of this particular feature. Just know that it's there. Next, KYC. Most people here have already gotten their KYC done. Right here it says KYC approved, but it does give you guidelines on how to submit your KYC. So if you have some downline people who are struggling with KYC, direct them to this and then maybe reach out and try to help them. And finally, the profile. Your profile has a bunch of information here. Not only can you upload your picture so that it actually takes the place of the little person icon up here, but having this picture allows you to create those director and infinity pool celebration cards. It will fill in this particular graphic with your face so that you can send it out over Telegram or Facebook and stuff like that. You can do that very, very easily. Just follow the instructions. You can actually change your username if you want to. I don't recommend that you do so. You can change your password. And you want to skip over these because they're not relevant to us right now. You can actually decide whether you want your name hidden or shown on your registration link. Have notifications enabled? Always have it enabled. And you can tell how long you want your notifications to retain. For me, I think 30 days is enough time for me to hold on to notifications. And then don't even put your cursor near this button here. Okay, just don't. The export feature has not been fully finished, so just ignore this part right now. But here, this is where you put in a beneficiary. Should you pass away, there must be a registered paying member of GS Partners that you want to be the beneficiary of your account. You have to put their username here and hit save. You have to make sure that they have their KYC approved and that they have their subscription and they don't lapse. Okay? This is very important. That's why I draw your attention here. And this is where you find it, under your profile. And the last part, social media. If you plan on doing things in social media, you do want to send GS Partners your social media links. So if you're doing Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, provide that information for them as well, so that they can make sure that you are in compliance. Okay? Compliance is incredibly important. You don't want to mess things up for everybody else. And that takes us to the end of your back office training for now. It was a lot of stuff, and that's because this thing is a multi-million-dollar bit of software that you get access to initially for free, but once you become a member, you get a whole bunch more value for it. So let me go ahead and let me get back to my my dashboard. It's going to take a few seconds, and then we'll open up everything to some questions. So let me go and stop sharing my screen. I appreciate everybody joining us and staying with us for the entire session. And Mr. Charles, over to you.
Thank you, Jason. Great session. Again, this session is brought to you by the Dallas Freedom Rising team. Many of you are members of the team, but we did open it up and invited some guests. We have some special guests on tonight. Didn't expect them, but they're here. First of all, Dr. Rhonda Hollins is here, or she was here. I don't know if she's still here or not, but I'm going to check and see if she is. Dr. Rhonda, you want to come on and say something to this group, because you are at the top of the group. And then we'll ask Mrs. White, if she's in the vicinity, to also do the same. Dr. Rhonda?
There we go. Couldn't unmute there. How's everybody?
Awesome.
Awesome, awesome. Well, that was definitely a great and detailed explanation of where to find stuff. And if after that you can't find anything, I tell you what, something must be wrong. But anyway, that was great, Jason. And just wanted to say good evening to everyone. And the more informed you are with what you have your hands on, the better you can operate. That's definitely what all of this is all about. So thank you, Charles.
My pleasure.
For setting this up.
Mrs. White, do you have something to say? Then we're going to open up for questions. You may not be in a position yet. There you are.
Hi, just want to say hello to everyone. That was great, Jason, of course. Everybody needs to know how to find things in your back office. And I know you can't get enough of this information. I learned something tonight, even though I'm in my back office every single day. But it is a multi-million-dollar tool that we have, and it's very important that all of us learn the tools of our trade. So thank you so much, Jason. Thank you, Mr. President of Freedom Rising Team, for putting this together for us. And
you're the president of Freedom Rising Team. All right, so let's open this up for questions. Anybody have a question? Go ahead and raise your hand. Use the reactions button down there, and we'll do our best to answer your questions tonight. Jason was very thorough, but I encourage you. I set the security so you can unmute yourself and start your video. And if we have questions, we will answer them. If not, I have a recording here. Oh, there's a question. Hi, Miss Joyce. Go ahead, unmute yourself.
Hey, and hi. Great presentation. My favorite folks, Charles and that wonderful, lovely woman he married, Miss Gail. You look gorgeous as usual. Okay, my question is, I have a couple of questions, but I'm going to start with one because there may be others that want to ask questions. Could you walk me through the steps to transfer? Like I had someone who joined and they bought 2 Apollos and 2 Artemises. And we left off, don't ask how, because we just knew, we left off the subscription price, to become a member. So I then had to go to our illustrious Charles and find out how to do that. So my question is, how do because I keep money in there as per Charles, I keep money in my account to help people who may get stuck on this or that or something else, just to expedite, not to pay for their certificate, but like with the subscriptions in particular. So could you kind of walk me through the steps? I got my pen here. So you can walk me through the steps of how to transfer money from my account to their account to pay for $99 for 3 months or $396 for the year.
Sure thing. I can cover that because I know that's going to be, it's a thing. That's for sure. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to share my screen. So at least you'll have a visual cue for it as well. Let me turn my camera off, make sure that it shows up. Okay. Now let me move this out of the way. Oh, hold on. There we go. Okay. So if you want to move money from your account to someone else's, the very first thing you need is to determine which cryptocurrency you want to send over. And that's usually something like, so Ms. Joyce, which one?
USDT.
Perfect. Okay. So the very first thing you need is you need to get their deposit address. Their deposit address, they can go to this deposit button up here on their dashboard right here.
Oh, deposit now?
Yes. So deposit now will take you to the deposit part of your back office. So I'm going to do that now. And so by default, Bitcoin is the one that shows up first. But you're going to want to go down through your list of cryptocurrencies to USDT. Now you're using USDT on the Ethereum blockchain, right?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. So you just want to make sure you click the correct one. And that's with that little blue Ethereum symbol in there. So what you need is this code. I do recommend that the person, copies and then send it to you in an email or something like that where you can copy it yourself. And so when you receive this information, you then go to your back office and you go to withdraw. It's under financial and it'll take you to this place. Okay, so since we're talking about USDT, we go down to USDT and then you want to add that address to your list of addresses, assuming you don't already have it. And then you just paste it here where it says that's the withdraw address.
Mm-hmm.
And then you label it ostensibly for that person's name. And when both of these fields are filled out, you click on the button, Add New Withdraw Address. Now, if it's successful, if you haven't left any characters out or something like that, then it will be added to your withdraw addresses under here. So when you click on Manage Withdraw Addresses, that new address will show up as one of those that you can send USDT to.
And I can hold on to that and use it in the future.
Exactly. You can always use it. So you only have to enter it once, and then you can go back. So every time you want to send USDT to that particular person, you don't have to enter the address anymore. You simply select it from here. Just kind of scroll down to their name. And, then you simply type in the amount of USDT and you go through all the rest of it to withdraw. Now you're familiar with withdrawing at this point, right?
Yes.
Awesome. I figured you were. Just wanted to double check. But then you just go through all that and you'll notice that since it's an internal transfer, meaning GS partner to GS partner, there are no fees right down here, 0%.
Good.
Yep. So you can put the exact amount that they need and no more. And then that will take care of it. Now that's the case with all of the cryptocurrencies being moved from member to member.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Mr. Jason.
Not a problem. Let me go ahead and stop share. Okay.
There's a
We're good.
question in the chat, Jason.
Okay, 1 second. Let me move this stuff over. Okay, 1 second. Let me go over here. So where do you click compound if you don't want to withdraw? Well, I'll answer that one first. Okay. So yeah, I'll answer both of these right now. So let's go back to the back office. Okay, so let me take my camera off. No, can't do it from this screen. There we go. That's better. Okay, so where do you click to compound? So you have to go under, and we're talking about the GS Partners Olympus Meta Certificates. You simply go to Olympus Meta Certificates, My Portfolios. And for example, we'll take a look at this one. From here, you do the unintuitive thing, which is to click Load More. Now, once you've finished loading this the certificate, you just have to remember that to access the rest of your certificate, you have to click on Load More. That'll take you to this section. Underneath this graphic will be the two buttons where you can withdraw or compound right here. Once you do that, it'll ask if you are sure, and it will automatically carry that out for you. So if you don't want to withdraw, you can compound and let the weekly rewards be put into your load. Now, the two-factor authentication, it deals with two things. It deals with, of course, logging into your account. And in fact, let me just read out what he said. So also, is the two-part authentication only in regards to dealing with like Coinbase, or is it to withdraw your money? It is always to withdraw your money. It's for logging into your account and for withdrawing your money. That prevents unscrupulous individuals from getting your username and password and then just withdrawing all your money from your dashboard to their addresses. So it's always going to ask you for two-factor authentication. That's right after you click Submit Withdrawal on your withdrawal request. So, and that's going to be the case with just about any crypto exchange that you may also be involved with. So that's what two-factor is really going to do for you. And that's where it's most likely going to be used for. Hopefully that answers your question.
Okay, Mr. Dennis has his hand up.
Okay, Dennis Reed.
Yes, question. Now going back to the withdrawal and transfer of wallet question, because I know most of the time you generate a new wallet, or you can, or, you don't have to, but I guess you generate a new wallet. Now, if you generate a new wallet, does it save the old wallet number? Or does the number automatically get canceled once you generate a new wallet? Let's say you using that wallet number, someone trying to transfer funds to you using the old wallet number, but you generate a new number. Does it save the old wallet number?
In total honesty, I'm not sure. So, Charles, have you run into that?
I'll answer that one. Yes, it does.
Okay.
Every time you generate a new wallet, all the wallets that you've ever generated will work.
Gotcha.
They just put it in the newest one first. Now,
Gotcha.
if you're doing an internal transaction, you don't have to do that because they process those immediately. Internal transactions are processed immediately. When they're coming in from outside, like from a Coinbase or crypto.com or wherever you have it, those kind of stack up in line. And I've had those to go for days before they before they'll transfer. Most of the time, though, with the new technology that's in operation,
Yeah.
transfers take 30 minutes and they're done at the max.
Right. Okay. Understood. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. I learned something new. Thanks, Charles.
You're welcome.
Ms. Gail.
Hi, I just want to add something about these generating a new address. Lately, what we have found is when you click the button to say generate a new address, it will tell you you generated a new address, but it doesn't actually do it. The same address is still there. And the only problem, and it's not a problem, but when I have copied that address, gone to add it to my withdrawal address books, as if you call it that, and labeled it, it will tell me, oh, you already have this one in your address book. So just be aware of that. I don't know what's going on with that generate new address button, but it seems to get in a little loop. It's not a problem. It keeps the same address and you just use the same address. I just thought I'd add that in case you find that. It was a little perplexing to me when I first encountered it, and I've encountered it more than once. Thanks.
Very good to know. Thank you for that. So just be familiar with the old address before you hit that button, just to make sure you don't just automatically send over the same address mistakenly. Yeah, very interesting. Okay. Any other questions at this point? Miss Amber. I'm sorry, you're still muted.
Just trying to be respectful, background noise and do wop diddly. Okay, so if someone registers and they don't get a subscription, or they don't even want to, and they just buy one thing, do you still get something free, or do you get credit, or how does that work? They just want to do one thing.
You're talking about with the, go ahead, Charles.
One CD, they just want one CD. They don't want to do the two.
It's a members, these are members only promotions.
Thank you.
Members only. And if they don't want the free certificates, you can't force them to get it. So once, this is not that kind of a deal. If you only want it and you don't want the subscription, fine. But the subscription is for the member. It's not for the company. Because if you think about it, if you come in, if you come in and buy a $25,000 certificate, and you buy two smaller ones, the company will give you the $10,000 portion of the 25. If you don't want that $10,000, the company is happy to keep it.
Okay, so if all they want to do is get one thing,
Yep.
Then they don't get anything else.
No.
None of the other bonuses.
Nope.
Okay.
Members only.
I like that. I'm gonna put that in there because my cousin is like, I just want to get one. I said, okay, members only. You don't get all these other benefits. Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Members only.
Thank you. I like that.
Okay, we do have a question in chat, and I think this one is right up Charles's alley. Oh yeah. So I'm a relatively new member, and I would like to bring other people on. Do you have an elevator speech that I can use to encourage others to join?
Wow. Dr. Rhonda, where are you? Where's your elevator speech? She's our sponsor. She said something to get us going. She's still on here?
Yes, of course.
All right, there you go. When in doubt, call the Maxwell certified speaker. Go ahead, Dr. Rhonda.
And before I answered that, I was just listening to what Joyce just said about the member. You know, one thing is your sister may not understand the big picture of everything, right? And because it's a members, as Charles just mentioned, it's a members benefit. One thing you could do is unlock the back office for her. Pay 1 month for her so that she has access to the academy. She can see what all of those things look like. And you'll still be rewarded for your hard work as a sponsor and sharing that with her because you know, you paid your membership and you pick up a 15% commission, right? So you get that on the $33. You'll get the, your sister can purchase her certificate. And because you helped her in her first 30 days, you'll pick up a certificate. And if she decides to go ahead and buy 2 more, you'll pick up an additional certificate. And all of that because you moved $33 into her.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
So it's not trying to get around stuff, but what's the maximum benefit we can get from the benefits that the company is putting out there? That's how you want to look at it. Let me turn a light on here. If I can turn my camera on. I'm not trying to stay in the dark. One sec. So as leaders, we want to make the best of everything that we can with these opportunities. And that's what $33 would pay for. You'll end up with 2 certificates. She'll get what she wants. She gets a chance to see the academy, the back office, and just really it opens up things that she's not aware of because she's brand new.
Yeah.
Okay. And if she chooses not to remain a member after that, it's all as well. After 30 days, she doesn't have to pay anything else and she can continue as she likes. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All
Awesome.
right. So for the office speech or the elevator speech, you know, it varies from person to person. It really does. How well you know the person, what you know about the person, and in terms of how you can pique their interest. You know, everything doesn't work the same for each person, but when you're determined to share, you have to figure out what that looks like. And then we always start with, you know, maybe sending a couple of videos because they have to see something. That's what the peaking is all about. They have to see something. It's not going to explain everything. It's not going to paint that big picture, but we want to know where they are. So it might be, you know, in our Wealth Builder site, we have phrases like, you know, do you keep your income options open? You know, that may not be something you can say to a friend, you know, but it's like, hey, are you interested in making some more money? Or I found a way to kind of, I'm learning about decentralized money, and people will, in the conversation, they will say something that will generate, oh, this is my angle here, or this is where I can pique interest here. So you have to get to the point of being a very good listener. And when you listen to people, they're almost telling you where they're at. So just, I would say you have to practice that, and you can practice maybe with your upline leader on different comments or different things that you can share, but it's all around relationship. When a person is comfortable enough to talk to you, then you can pretty much bring up anything. And if you do it often enough, you get comfortable and it becomes part of your lifestyle because you're in business every day, or at least that's what we should be if you're in business, to make money. So you have to practice what that looks like, whether you're in the grocery store, at the gas pump, on the elevator. Just always have your antennas open for an opportunity to share something. This happened to us today in Best Buy. My laptop died. I had to buy a desktop. Okay. So someone was waving at me and I didn't know, I didn't recognize the person, but they came up and spoke to me and my husband. And come to find out, we knew them for maybe 5 or 6 years ago. something like that, had met them in a previous business. And that was the time for the elevator speech. So we just kind of got up to speed, exchanged numbers, pulled out the card, and then within 5 seconds, I was saying, hey, you know what? Long story short, I'm giving you my business card, but this is the thing. Where you know what's going on with the banking system right now? And he said, yes. I said, well, we found some ways that we can help people to better protect their money and grow it. Would you be interested in learning how you can earn 4.15% a week? And he said, yes. That was the end of my speech. We have the information. I'm going to text him a couple of videos to look at. And after that, I'm going to follow up and get him on a 3-way call. And that's it. So being on your toes, being alert, listening, and being aware, and of course, these trainings that you come to on a regular basis will help you with what that elevator speech should look like.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
My pleasure.
All right. Glad you're here, Dr. David. Dr. David. Dr. Rhonda. I was just talking to y'all a little while ago.
Yeah.
So did we have any additional questions? Want to make sure oh yeah, good nuggets there. We definitely want to make sure that we respect your time, but also to give you the ample opportunity to get your questions answered as best we can. Oh,
Well,
Mr. White, I think we're good.
You've done a marvelous job, Dr. Rhonda. Thank you for answering that question. Mrs. White, thank you so much for your input. Thank you all for coming tonight. I have made a recording of this and it will be available to you. And I'm going to charge everybody else $500 to get a copy of the recording. Just kidding. Just kidding. You know, we're all Mr. Joseph Height tells us that our mantra for 2023 is education and healthy living. And this group is going to do both. So we're going to continue to put out information to make your experience in GS Partners. We want to enhance your experience so that you feel comfortable working your back office, so that you feel comfortable inviting your friends and neighbors to join you and to get out of the financial institutions. This is really important. So Dr. Nimmons, thank you for asking that question. Thank you all very much. I'm going to stop the recording now and